Now let's talk about the maintenance of your water treatment equipment. On the concrete pad outside your house, you have a large holding tank or aerator, 2 pressure tanks with pressure switches, a water softener with timer, and a salt tank. If water should ever stop coming into your home, go to your breaker box and check the circuit breaker for your submersible pump and the circuit breaker for the other pump equipment. Make sure they are all on. If water does not start, check and reset your GFI outlet located outside on the wall near your water treatment equipment. Finally, with the cords unplugged, check the 2 pressure switches for insects or debris, and then plug the cords back in. At that point, the big tank should begin to refill and shut off at the proper level. Near where the pipes come out of the tank, you will see a gauge. By that gauge, there is another box with a gray cord. On the side of this box, you will find a little brass lever. Lift the lever until you hear the pump kick on, and then hold the lever steady in that position to begin the pressure increase. Watch the liquid-filled gauge until it gets to 40 psi, and then let go of the lever. The pressure will continue to increase until it reaches 60 psi, and then it will shut off. Water will now be restored to your home. Care for your system begins with adding a little bleach to the large holding tank and salt tank once a week. Some homeowners we talk to add bleach to their system the same time they take out the garbage weekly, so they rarely forget. So once a week, take the white plastic pipe, plug in the hole at the top of the large holding tank, and use it as a measuring cup. Put half a cupful of household bleach into the salt tank, and then a full cupful into the large holding tank. If you live in Lehigh Acres, instead of bleach in the salt tank, we recommend you use citric acid from the hardware store. Put in approximately 4 ounces of granulated citric acid. Once a week, at the same time, you put a full cupful of bleach into the large holding tank. Never mix citric acid and bleach. If bleach and citric acid are added as recommended, your water softener will run smoothly, and algae buildup and odor will be kept to a minimum. Now let's look at the pressure tanks. One of the tanks is for the well pump for pressure into your aerator, and the other is for the house pump for pressure into your faucets and spigots inside your house. These should be maintained at 28 to 30 pounds of air pressure so the system works properly. To check the pressure on each tank, unplug the gray cords that lead to the pressure switches. Then go to the well and turn the hose connection until the water stops. Do the same with the hose connection on the house. With all the water off, check the pressure on the tank with a standard tire gauge. If it is below 28 pounds per square inch, add air with a small compressor or a tire pump and bring the air pressure to 28 to 30 psi. When the pressure is right, plug both pumps back in. Then go to the little lever by the black box where the pipes come out of the aerator and lift it. This will get your water flowing again. You'll find the pressure gauge mounted on the tank with wires leading to the switch that controls the pump. When the pressure reaches a preset level, which can be anywhere from 40 to 60 psi, a switch stops the pump. It is not necessary for pumps to run continuously, so they won't start each time you open the tap or flush the toilet. As water is used in the home, pressure begins to decrease until after a drop about 20 psi. The switch turns on, the pump and the cycle is repeated. The tall blue cylinder is your water softener. It is a very important feature in your water treatment system because it removes the minerals that make your water hard. Hard water in your home can keep soaps and detergents from dissolving completely, so insoluble soap deposits are left behind on everything you wash, from your dishes to your bath and shower. Calcium and magnesium deposits can also build up in your pipes, reducing the flow to taps and appliances. When you remove the cover, you will see a red button that controls a gear-shaped knob behind a bigger knob that sets the time. When set for the correct time of day, the unit will backwash itself at 2 a.m. The cycle lasts approximately 90 minutes. We set the correct time for you on your initial setup. Resetting your timer will only be important if your power has been off and the timer gets behind. Also with your tank is a bluish container where you will put your salt. The salt tank is the other part of the water softener process. This is where the water backwashes to prepare the water for use in your water softener. This tank should remain a half to 2/3 full of salt at all times. Well water in different areas of Southwest Florida gets treated differently, so we recommend Morton pellets in the yellow bag for Cape Coral and Morton pellets in the bluish-green bag for Lehigh Acres and San Carlos Park. In order to provide consistent water pressure at the fixtures, the pump first moves water to a large holding tank. This holding tank should be cleaned thoroughly every 3 to 6 months, depending on the quality of water in your area. This tank holds all the water you will use in your house. There is an aerator in the holding tank that removes hydrogen sulfide by pulling air in through the intake and forcing it down through the water. Before draining your holding tank, unplug the piggyback plug that controls the filling of the tank. This GFI outlet is a safety device like the type in your bathroom that has the test and reset button. Remember, if the water flow into your house should stop due to electrical short at this outlet, you can reset the GFI outlet to restore your power. To drain and clean the holding tank, take the screws out of the rim of the lid and lift it off. Be careful to put the screws in a safe place. Pour in half a gallon of household bleach and with a broom begin to scrub it out. Unscrew the cap on the bottom of the big tank and continue to scrub out the tank as the holding tank empties. When finished, put the drain plug back in the bottom of the tank. Now you can put the top back on the holding tank and replace the screws. With the piggyback plug for the aerator still unplugged, unplug the second plug that powers the submersible pump. With the power disconnected, you can safely check your pressure switches for insects and debris. One at a time, take the protective caps off the switches by turning the nut on top until the cap lifts off. The nut will stay with the cap. Brush away any debris anywhere around the switches and between the contacts that can stop electricity from getting through. Spray a little lubricant like CRC onto the contacts each time you inspect the switch. Remember, these pressure switches are one place you will check if water ever stops coming into your home. Replace the caps and turn the nuts until they are snug. Then plug the piggyback plug back into the GFI outlet. The holding tank will start to refill and power will be restored to the submersible pump in the well. The float switch inside the aerator will shut off the water at the proper level. This pretty much takes care of your regular maintenance on your water treatment system. So here is a quick review of your maintenance schedule. Once a week, add bleach to your holding tank and bleach or citric acid to your salt tank. And remember, never combine citric acid and bleach. Every 3 to 6 months, as needed, scrub out your holding tank with household bleach. Check air pressure on the pressure tanks, and check for debris under the cover on the pressure switches.